All right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name's Nicole, and welcome back to our English class. Hello again, everyone. A huge warm welcome back. I'm so excited to dive into another session with you all. You've been doing an absolutely amazing job, and your enthusiasm for learning conversational English is truly inspiring. Now today marks lecture 3 in our topic in our lesson on introductions, which is under the topic conversational English. Just to quickly recap from our previous sessions, we've already covered a lot of ground on the art of stating conversations. We explored various ways to say hello and open a chat or open a conversation, and we also look at how greetings change depending on the situation. We tackled that initial, breaking the ice moment in a semi-formal seminar setting, for example. We practiced some super casual catch-up phrases with friends and even looked at how we introduce ourselves and check availability during a phone call. Now, you all showed great understanding in navigating those different scenarios, and that's exactly what we're going to continue doing today. We are building on that foundation of feeling comfortable initiating contact, opening a conversation. We are moving beyond just the initial hello, and of course, we try to delve deeper into the flow of introductions, specifically how to confidently introduce yourself and how to respond naturally and politely to those common first questions people ask you. So get ready to continue honing your skills and, of course, becoming even more fluent and natural in those crucial first moments of any English conversation. Let's pick up right where we left off and, of course, continue exploring more real life situations. All right. Again, I've mentioned earlier that we've already did some analysis, some discussions on a few scenarios yesterday, right? We started analyzing, we started discussing on these specific scenarios, and there are more of them. But before we continue on that, let's quickly recap on the scenarios that we did yesterday. First is on casual catch up, and this is the conversation. Let me read it. You can also read it with me in your own comfortable spaces there. Okay. Hey, what's up? Not much, just got here, you. Same, let's grab a drink. Usually, in a conversational English, we try to say it like this. Hey, what's up? Not much, just got here, you. Same, let's grab a drink. Notice that in the first line, especially in the phrase, what's up, I said it in a way that is different to how I said it first. Instead of saying what's up, like I say it individually, the words, I try to blend or link them together, and I get what? I get what's up, because that's how usually it is done in a conversational setting, in a casual setting. And we call that again what? We call that connected speech. Okay? So this is a dialogue that is a perfect example of using those friendly and casual greetings we learned yesterday. Okay? So this is a casual catch up. All right? Okay, so this dialogue is short, just like the other conversations or the other dialogues that we will be having or we will be talking for today, but it's very authentic to how casual conversations happen among friends in English. So it uses simple words and, of course, common phrases that flow naturally. And it's not just about, formal introductions, but about keeping a friendship going here. So of course, as I've mentioned yesterday, I highly encourage you to read this dialogue aloud to yourself a few times, noticing the words that are connected or words that are part of connected speeches, where we try to link two or more words together to make it much easier for our mouth to speak it and for the listener to hear it. Okay, that's just how casual conversation um, casual conversation flow out. Okay, that's the first dialogue or situation that we ran into yesterday. Next to that is this one, bumping into someone. Okay. We know or we understand bumping into someone means that you don't physically hit them. Okay. It's an idiom, a common phrase that means you unexpectedly meet someone perhaps in a public place like a park, a mall, or even just on the street. So it is a spontaneous meeting, not a planned one. Okay. We again see two illustrations of people talking, which of course try to help us imagine this unexpected friendly encounter. So the dialogue goes like this. Read it with me if you can. All right. Long time no see. I know it's been ages. How have you been? Very simple, because the conversations that we will be having or we will be discussing are just like this conversation. It's very quick, it's very short, a short dialogue basically. Okay. So this is just very typical of how real life unplanned meetings or reunions happen. It's full of warmth and familiarity. So it uses phrases that show, pre-existing relationship and genuine happiness at the unexpected meeting. So read this dialogue again if you can. Next to that, the last situation that we discussed yesterday is on phone call. And this is the dialogue. Hello, this is Jason. Hi, Jason, it's Maria. Get a minute? Sure, what's going on? Now, the connected speech here, it happens in the second line. So, especially in the first two words. Instead of saying got a minute, like we say each word individually, in connected speech, where this particular thing happen in casual conversations, we usually link words together. Okay, so this one, gata, becomes gotta. Okay, gotta, basically. So it would be read like this. Hi, Jason, it's Maria. Got a minute? Get a minute? Instead of got a minute, we say it got a minute. We try to link them together. We try to blend them together so that it is much easier for us to speak it. Okay, and that's the last situation that we've discussed yesterday. We are going to move on to more situations now. I guess there's two more simple dialogues that we will be really, you know, really discussing on deeply, because we've already done with deep discussions on these first three situations yesterday. And we will be having the next one, which is on the context here is on workplace. So I'm sorry for that. We've looked at many different conversations already, simple dialogues from meeting someone new, bumping into someone. What other things are there? Phone calls and casual catch up. Okay. So we've looked into those conversations already. Now let's bring our learning into a very common and important setting for many of us, which is the workplace. Okay, but before that, let me check my screen first because maybe it got cut off. All right, I think it's all good for a moment. Let me just, fix that for a moment because it looks like it get cut off. Okay, all right, I think this is better. All right, let's continue. Okay. Again, the situation that we have here is on, or it happens in workplace. Okay, this means that the conversation it takes place perhaps in an office or a shared workspace, or maybe just before a work meeting begins. It's a professional environment basically, but the conversation here it is still casual, it is still friendly, it is still relaxed. Okay, we again see two illustrations of people talking, which helps us visualize a typical interaction between colleagues. So this dialogue is a fantastic example of using what type of what way of saying hello. The first one that we discussed yesterday, last meeting, which is which is on standard and polite greetings. Again, if you remember standard and polite greetings, let me show it to you. This one, standard and polite, standard and polite meetings, standard and polite greetings. Okay, these are just some of the many greetings that you can use under standard and polite. I just included the most common greetings like hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So for this situation in the workplace, we use that kind of greeting because it's a professional setting, although we are speaking casually still. Okay? All right. So again, this is standard and polite greetings, and then it is followed by a little bit of a casual chat, which is, a very common thing in English speaking workplaces. It shows how people interact politely, and of course, it shows how they build a good working relationship with each other. So let's read it together, and I will explain each part in detail after. Okay? Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. How was your weekend? Pretty relaxing. Thanks. Ready for the sorry for that. Ready for the meeting? What is happening? Anyway, let me read that again because there's a slight, mistake in my part, and I don't want you to be bothered on that. Okay. Again, you can also read it with me again in your own comfortable spaces. Okay. Let's start. Good morning. Good morning. How was your weekend? Pretty relaxing, thanks. Ready for the meeting? All right. So here, this is another a simple dialogue. So here, this dialogue, it is still an example of what I've mentioned earlier, which is standard and polite greetings. So this is still a casual chat, but there's this politeness in there. Okay. So here, as you've noticed, or as you try to read it with me, person A starts by saying good morning. Okay. So basically, this is morning. This happens in the morning, right before. It may be from the moment after you wake up, or not after you wake up because you're already at the workplace, but you know, a little bit in there, just before 12 noon. Okay, so good morning. This is one of our very first standard and polite greetings we learned yesterday, right? So it's perfect for the workplace, especially in the morning, of course, because that's the proper way to use this particular greeting it in the morning. So it is respectful, it is professional in a way, and it sets a positive tone for the day. Okay, so it is very simple, it is also clear, and of course, it is universally accepted in a work setting. Saying good morning, if not good morning, then good afternoon. If not good afternoon, then good evening. Okay, so person A here, it is she is, or let's just say person A is initiating the conversation with a standard appropriate greeting, which is good morning. So he or she is, let's just say, person A is the woman, then person B is the guy. Okay, so um, she is she is acknowledging the time of day and being polite here. Person A. Then person B, the guy, he replies by saying, "Good morning. How was your weekend?" So this is an excellent, and of course it is still a very common way to respond in a workplace setting, particularly on a Monday, for example, or after a holiday. So good morning, person B like echoes to the greeting that is made by person A, which is still very polite. It shows that he is trying to mirror the politeness of the woman of his workmate. Okay, so it confirms that it confirms that he heard person A and is returning the greeting warmly. Okay, and then of course the friendly question, another banter, a simple banter by the girl or by the woman. How was your weekend? Oh, I know. That's still on the man. I'm sorry. How was your weekend? So this is a very common small talk question in a professional but friendly environment. You're trying to hold on the conversation. You're trying to continue the conversation. So you try to ask another question that may be relevant to the context or to the topic of the conversation, which is of course um, it's Monday. Then you can ask about your workmates' weekend. Okay. Still, this is again, it's a small talk question in a professional but friendly environment. It is not too personal, but it shows friendly interest in the other person's life outside of her work. So it's a way to like of connect as people before diving into the work topics, any professional topics. It's just a polite way to ask about their recent time off without being, intrusive. So this question is something you will hear all the time in English speaking workplaces on a Monday morning. And finally, of course, person A responds by saying, by answering the question, pretty relaxing things, ready for the meeting. So let's break down person A's reply here. Pretty relaxing things. That's the first thing that she mentioned. This is just a very common and easy answer to, of course, the question that is posed by person B. How was your weekend? She mentioned it's pretty relaxing, and then she means it was quite calm, and of course not stressful. Other common answers could be, if not pretty relaxing, you can say it was good. If not good, if it's not relaxing, you can say busy, or as simple as okay can also do as an answer. Okay, and then she paired it with thanks. It is very important and polite to say thanks or thank you after someone asks you how are you or how was your weekend. It shows not appropriation, but appreciation. Sorry for the word. It shows appreciation for their interest. Okay, so always remember to thank them for asking. And after that, after answering and appreciating the interest of her workmate, she added, ready for the meeting. No? After answering the small talk question, person A smoothly shifts the conversation back to work related topics, which is most specifically about an upcoming meeting. So, this is a very natural transition in a professional setting. You talk a little bit about personal things and then you try to bring the conversation back to business. So, it's a polite way to check on their readiness and, of course, to signal the next topic. Okay, so what can we learn from this very realistic workplace conversation? Well, first of all, number one, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. They are always excellent choices for professional settings, especially when it comes to opening a conversation. If not opening a conversation, maybe just trying to have a small talk. Okay. Number two, it's very common and friendly to follow up a greeting with how was your weekend, especially on Mondays, or if not, um, try to be more general. You can just say, how are you? Which applies anytime and everywhere, okay? To any person. How are you? Because how was your weekend? It's not really strictly on Monday only. You can say it on Monday only, but it is usually said on Monday. So if not on Monday, we can try to use the question as simple as how are you? Okay? Number three, always remember to say thanks or thank you when someone asks about your well-being or your life, your weekend. No, you try to appreciate their interest. And lastly, number four, of course, after that, what did the girl do? She smoothly transitioned from small talk back to work topics by asking a relevant question like ready for the meeting, or if not that, other questions maybe are you working on the specific project, on this project. So you can also do that. There are many ways to shift a topic smoothly and to make it still relevant to the context of the conversation. Okay? Now, this dialogue, it just, shows how English speakers blend polite greetings with a touch of personal interest. And of course, they then smoothly move into work related discussions. It's a very common pattern in offices. They practice this consistently because practicing this will make you feel much more comfortable in a professional English environment. So I highly encourage you to read this dialogue aloud to yourself multiple times. And of course, try to tweak it a little bit, not just stick on what is on the script. Okay? Try to imagine yourself as person A arriving at work and then as person B responding. Feel how friendly yet professional, sorry. You can feel how it's casual, it's friendly, it is, but it's still professional in a way. How the conversation sounds, it's still professional despite it being friendly in tone. Okay, so this type of practice, it is still vital for becoming fluent and comfortable in workplace interaction. So do any parts of this conversation make you think about your own work experiences or maybe spark any questions about talking to colleagues in English? No need to type it. No need to type the answer from a question. Just consider it. Just, think about it. I highly appreciate that already. So this is a practical example for your daily work life. Is it right? Is it like a familiar conversation that you have had with your workmate? Okay, I think it is somehow familiar. If not, you can try to do this tomorrow, starting tomorrow maybe. No, you try to open a conversation or you try to greet your workmates, or maybe not everyone, but you try to greet your workmate inside, of course, inside of your workplaces. Okay, you can always just it is always safe to start with good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Okay, so again, this is another simple dialogue, which is the context is on workplace. And the last simple dialogue that we will be discussing is on this context. So we are having another context here, a setting, which is at a school orientation. We've practiced many kinds of conversations now. We've seen how to greet people formally, how to greet them casually, and even on the phone or even at work. No? Now let's look at a very specific situation here, meeting someone new when you're starting something new yourself, like at a school orientation. So we have here a new environment basically, okay, at a school orientation. Now we understand what a school orientation is, right? It is usually a meeting or a program for new students or new people joining a school or a university. It is a time when everyone is new and it is a great chance to meet people. And we again see our familiar two illustrations of people talking here, which helps us visualize maybe two students meeting and connecting. Okay, so this dialogue, it is showcasing, it is showing you a very natural, friendly, and at the same time direct way to introduce yourself to a new person when you have something in common, especially like being in the same class, for example, or not if the same class, maybe same program. So it is concise, it is polite, and of course it is very practical for meeting new acquaintances. So let's read it together and I will explain each part in detail later. Okay, read it with me. Let's start. Hi, I think we're on the same course. I'm Laura. Oh, hey, I'm Jonas. Must come too? Yep, first year. Again, let's try to read it one more time. Try to read it with me, okay? So that you can really practice this one. All right, let's start. Hi, I think we are in the same course. I'm Lara. Oh, hey, I'm Jonas. Must come too? Yep, first year. Okay. Now here, person A which is the woman named Lara. She starts by saying, "Hi, I think we are in the same course," and then, "I'm Lara." Now, this is a really great way to start a conversation in a new group setting. Hi, person A starts with a simple, friendly, and very common greeting, which is, if you remember, this is under standard and polite way to say hello, right? Hi. It's the, slightly informal version of hello. Hi. Now it's welcoming, it's easy, course. I think we are in the same course. She continued. This is the key part here. Person A uses an observation. She uses a shared situation, like a common ground, to her listener to open the conversation. Now, course here means a class or an academic program, like a specific major at a university. Now, person A is making a friendly guess or observation that they share something in common. So this is excellent. This is excellent because it makes or it immediately gives them something to talk about, and it makes the other person feel recognized. So it's just a polite way to say, "I see you and I think we might have a connection." That's just a polite way to mean that. "I'm Lara." She ended it by introducing herself. "I'm Lara," immediately after stating the common ground. Person A introduces herself. So this is a very direct and confident way to make yourself known. It shows that she is friendly and that she is open to meeting new people. So it's a clear invitation for the other person to introduce themselves too. This combines the shared observation with the personal introduction, which of course makes the interaction flow very smoothly. Okay? Then the person B here replies, "Oh, hey, I'm Jonas. Must come too." This is an enthusiastic response to Lara's approach, which is what she needed. And then, "Oh, hey." Here, he started by saying, "Oh, hey." Person B's "oh," it indicates a slight surprise or maybe a pleasant recognition of Lara. And then, "hey" is a very friendly and casual greeting. He is trying to acknowledge her presence here, just like we discussed earlier or yesterday. It shows that he is happy to be approached. And then, of course, he also mentioned his name. "I'm Jonas." He immediately introduces himself in return, completing the name exchange because, of course, the person A introduced gave her name. She mentioned, "I'm Lara." And then, as an exchange, of course, person B also mentioned his name, which is here, "I'm Jonas." Okay, this is the polite and expected response after someone introduces themselves to you. And after that, he added, or he tried to clarify, mass communication too. Now, this is a brilliant follow-up question from Jonas. Mass is a common short form for mass communication. We know that. And we know that this is an academic course or major. So by asking mass too, Jonas is confirming Lara's earlier observation and showing interest in the conversation. It is like saying, "Are you also in mass communication?" This question, it keeps the conversation going, and it explores their shared connection. No, it is a specific, relevant, and of course, it is easy. It is an easy question to answer. All right, and finally, course, after Jonas's reply, um, person A also replied, also gave her response. She said, "Yep, first year." Okay, let's break down Lara's brief but complete and informative reply. She started by saying, "Yep." Again, we see "yep." That is friendly, that is casual way to say yes. "Yep." Now it confirms that Jonas was correct about the course because again, Jonas tried clarifying to Lara if she is a mass communication too, if she is from mass communication too. Okay, So it confirms that Jonas was correct about the course. And then first year, she added first year. Laura adds a little extra detail about herself within that common ground. She is not just in mass comm, she is a first year student, a freshman. This gives Jonas even more information to work with and perhaps ask another question about. Like, um, he could be answering, he could also give a response by saying, me too, or if not that, a response from him would be asking what made you choose Mascom, just to keep the conversation going. Now it keeps the conversation alive with small, easy details. Okay, so from this conversation, let's try to read it again. Try to read it with me, okay, for you to be practiced on this. All right, let's start. Hi, I think we're in the same course. I'm Lara. Oh, hey, I'm Jonas. Mascom too? Yep, first year. Okay. So what can we learn from this short but very authentic school orientation conversation? What we can, we can think of maybe five, five learnings here. Let's start with the first one, of course. As obvious as it gets, you can start a conversation with new person by making a friendly observation about something you might have in common, which is why Lara said, I think we are in the same course. She is not sure, she only thinks, but she tried to risk it anyway and tried to open a conversation with the other person. Okay. Number two, after stating that common ground, that common interest that they have, she immediately introduced herself. No? You can do that after stating a common ground that you have with the other person. You can immediately introduce yourself to that person by saying as simple as introducing your name. Okay, by saying I'm David, I'm Nicole, I'm Anna. Okay, this shows openness. Um it shows or it invites the other person to also reciprocate that. Okay, so there will be a name exchange in there. That's the second one. The third one is that when someone introduces themselves, respond with your own name. Okay, if they tried to introduce themselves, if they tried to mention their name, you can also mention your name to them by saying, of course, as simple as I'm Jonas. Okay, I'm David, I'm May, I'm I'm Nicole, something like that. Okay, if she introduces with a name, you can also appreciate that and exchange it with also a name. Okay, name exchange basically. All right. Fourth is that you ask a follow up question about the shared commonality to keep the conversation going. Just like what Jonas did. He asked Lara, must come to? Again, must come to? So you try to ask a follow up question. Then you provide a short, relevant detail about yourself to continue the exchange. Like, yep, first year. Okay? So that is the whole dialogue in itself. This dialogue, it is excellent for understanding how casual introductions happen in new social or academic environments. It's about finding common ground quickly and of course using that to build a connection. It's friendly, it's efficient, and of course it's very natural. Okay? I highly encourage you to read this dialogue aloud to yourself many times. Try to imagine yourself as Laura meeting Jonas at a school orientation, perhaps at a university somewhere there. Feel how friendly and easy the interaction is. This not two type, but this type of practice will really help you feel comfortable starting conversations with new people. Sorry for that. So, where was I again? I think I've mentioned comfortable. Yeah, if I remember it correctly. Maybe because of this practice, it will help you feel more comfortable opening a conversation with another person who might, and this person might share your interests. Okay. Now, with this dialogue, do any parts of this conversation make you think about your own experiences starting something new, maybe, or spark any questions about meeting new classmates or colleagues? No need to type it, just consider it, just think about it, okay? This is a very, very valuable skill for making new connections, okay? All right, I think it's the last one. As I've mentioned earlier, it's the last dialogue scenario. So we have now covered a great range, of course, of greeting types and conversational examples. And this final example for greetings helps us transition to the next big topic, which is how to introduce yourself more fully and beyond just your name. Okay, let's get ready for that important next step in our lesson. All right. So far, the situations that we have tackled is on first, what? It is on casual catch up. Next to that is bumping into someone, phone call, workplace, and at a school orientation. I am sorry for that. There may come a time that I have to stop myself because I really need to yawn and I cannot stop myself from yawning. So I hope you consider that. I hope you understand. I will still keep, of course, discussing because it's very important. This is very important to you. I will still continue this. It's just that there are times that I may have to pause, okay? And I need you to understand that. All right? Okay. Now, maybe just a quick question, just like what I did earlier. Do any parts of this conversation make you think about your own experiences, like starting something new, or spark any questions about meeting new classmates or colleagues? No need to type, just consider it, just think about it. It's already a good thing. Okay. All right. So this is a if you agree with me, this is really a very valuable skill for making new connections. Okay, we have now covered a great range of greeting types and conversational examples, and of course, this final example for greetings helps us transition to the next big topic: how to introduce yourself more fully. Sorry for that. Where am I again? How to introduce yourself more completely, more fully, right? Beyond just saying your name. Okay, let's get ready for the important next step in our lesson, or maybe now because we still have time, long a lot of time already. Okay, for a moment. Okay, I am actually checking the screen because there might be, any error on my end, and I will not be noticing that. And I keep continue talking here, and there's already an error in my slide. So I am always consistently checking my slides from my laptop. Yeah, okay. At a school orientation, that's the last one. And after this simple dialogue, of course, let us try to have this one, a longer dialogue, okay? Sorry for that. Here is our dialogue, and of course, we will go through it line by line to really dissect what makes it such a natural and effective challenge. Okay, first is on um where am I? Yeah, this is the first. This is another conversation, but it's a longer one. This is the same. This is just the same scenario as with any others that I've already talked about. It's just that there's more specificity in here. There's more details in there. Okay. All right. Now here's our dialogue, and we'll go through it line by line to really dissect what makes it such a natural and not just natural but also effective change. Okay, all right, for a moment. Okay, I'm gonna try reading the whole conversation first. You can try to read it with me in your own comfortable spaces there. Okay, all right, let me read it. Let's go. Hi, I'm Anna. Hi, I'm Zoe. Is it your first time here? I just moved here. Oh, nice. I come here a lot. Yes, from you from around here? Yeah, I like your bag. Where did you get it? Thanks. That looks interesting. What is it? It's just a planner. Cool. It was nice meeting you. Hope to see you around. You too. Very simple conversation despite how it looks. That is just a simple conversation. Okay? All right. We've already did some dialogues, of course. We'll go through it line by line to really dissect what makes it such a natural and effective exchange. Okay? All right. First is on the first line, of course. First two lines. Hi, I'm Anna. Hi, I'm Zoe. Okay? All right. Now here, the explanation of of this this scene is that this is the kind of like most straightforward and effective way to begin a direct introduction. It's polite, it's clear, and immediately establishes who each person. I've noticed the immediate reciprocation from Zoe when one person introduces themselves, so it's expected the other person will do the same. Okay, all right. Basically, this just it just perfectly aligns with our goal to introduce yourself. Okay, all right. Next to this conversation, we have again after introducing their names, they gradually grew closer, and then someone asked, "Is it your first time here?" Again, "Is it your first time here?" And then she explained, Anne doesn't want to stop at names. She incredibly moves to the polite situation at six hard enough for her. Okay? This perfectly aligns with our sim. Okay? Is it your first time here? Now, Anna here, she does not just stop at names. No? She also immediately moves to a polite question that seeks shared context. Okay? All right. So, is it your first time here? This is just, an icebreaker because it's really relevant to their current situation, being in a shared sharp space, being in a shared space. Okay, and it isn't too personal. It's an open-ended question that invites more than simple yes or no answer. Okay. After that, we have I just moved here. Is it your first time here? So for that particular question, is it your first time here? Anna doesn't just stop at names, okay? She immediately moves to a polite question that seeks shared context, common ground between her and her listener. This is just, an icebreaker because it is relevant to their current situation, which is being in a shared space physically, and it is not too personal for the other person. Okay? It's an open ended question basically. It invites more than a simple yes or no answer. All right. Let me just go fix my hair. Uh-huh. So, okay. All done, I guess. All right. That's the next convo that we have here. Let me highlight it for you while you know, I'm discussing on it. Oh no, I cannot highlight for some reason. Okay, we've already done. Is it your first time here? After that, of course, person B replied, I just moved here, which is, of course, the truth. I just moved here. Okay, again, is it your first time here? For a moment. Sorry for that. Um, is it your first time here? Person A replied on that or posed a question. Zoe's response is a masterclass in responding politely and naturally to keeping the conversation going. It shows openness and willingness to chat. Okay. All right. Next to that is, oh, nice. I come here a lot. Again, oh, nice. I come here a lot. Okay. Let me just make it more, thick for you because I cannot really put some colors. I don't know why. But yeah, you from around here? Is it your first time here? Once nice, come back to eat a lot. Okay. Next to that is your bag, of course. Do not forget about it. Um, yeah, that's your bag. Okay. Okay. Where am I again? Okay. Is it your first time here? So here, Anna doesn't just stop at names. She immediately moves to a polite question that shared or seeks shared food. Okay. In this context, this is a brilliant icebreaker because it's relevant to their current situation, being in shared space, and then it isn't too personal. It's an open-ended question that invites you to simply throw it out. Okay. All right. Okay. Next to that is it John, he was asking, is it your first time here? Okay. Explanation sounds okay. Is it your first time here? So here, Anna doesn't just stop at name. She immediately moves to polite question that seeks shared context. This is a brilliant icebreaker because it is now being hidden somewhere. Okay. Um. All right. So she got presentations. She got trainings basically, or meetings, let's just say, with certificates. First is, of course, him. Okay. All right. I guess all good with that. Well, here, Zoe's response is a masterclass in responding politely and, of course, naturally to personal questions. And like instead of just um, say yes, we should pick up on which is key for keeping a conversation and going the distance. Okay. All right. Okay. Is it your first time here? I just moved here. Um, and yeah, I like your bag. Where did you get it? You do not say it, do you not say it directly. You, of course, try to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Ano from Say something like that, okay? You try to introduce yourself before you try to talk something about what the other person is talking, okay? Yeah. Now, here, I come here a lot because of the soda. Zoe mirrors Anna's earlier question, showing showing that she's also interested in getting to know Swa. Okay, yeah, I like your bag. Where did you get it? For before that, oh nice, it come here a lot. So here, Anna acknowledges Zoe's information. No, this is just a more formal version of oh no, oh nice, and then it reciprocates by sharing a little about her own experience in the location. As she mentioned, I come here a lot. Okay, this builds common around, you know, around this one. Okay, all right. So sorry for that. All right. Oh, nice. I come here a lot. Let's start at the top. Hi, I'm Anna. Hi, I'm Zoe. Is it your first time here? I just moved here. Oh, nice. I come here a lot. Okay. All right. So that's the last, whale. All right. Now, with that, let's just have this one photo opportunity. Oh, nice. You come here a lot. From you form there, and then you can from around her explaining Zoe mirrors and its reflex. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like being body back. Anyway, so that is cool. It was nice meeting you to see you, Oregon. So this is just how Cole is really he doesn't play with the other person. Okay, where is it? Okay, sorry for that. So sorry. I really had to. I couldn't stop myself from yawning. I really had to. I help you for your consideration. As much as possible, I always try to continue my discussion. Now, again, this will be our ending convo for today. If let me just check. Let me check for a moment. Okay, I think all good. Now here, where am I? Um, yeah, I am on the ones that is this one. Okay. After this, person A, which is Anna, she replied, "Oh, nice. I come here a lot." So she acknowledges Zoe's information by saying, "Oh, nice," and then she reciprocates. She reciprocates by sharing a little about her own experience in the location. "I come here a lot." No, she said that. This builds common ground and it shows genuine interest in the interaction. After that, the conversation keeps going. No, they keep providing small talks here and there. Um, Zoe provided another response. She tried to ask Anna, "You from around here? Are you from around here?" And then Zoe mirrors on her Anna's earlier question. She shows that she is also interested in getting to know Anna. This demonstrates crucial conversational reciprocity, meaning that you ask, they answer, and then they ask back, and you answer. Okay, it's a natural give and take situation here. And then, of course, since Zoe's asking, Anna would, of course, provide her answer. She would say, "Yeah, I like your bag. Where did you get it?" Another fantastic example of a topic shift using an observation or compliment. Anna answers the question briefly by saying, "Yeah," and then she smoothly transitions to a new topic based on something immediately visible, which is, of course, Zoe's bag. They compliments. The compliments are excellent for building rapport and asking where we can see that. Okay. All right. After mentioning that, yeah, I like your bag. Where did you get it? Um, Zoe, of course, she started replying by providing her appreciation, as simple as saying thanks will do already. She provided a simple, polite acknowledgement of the compliment that um, Anna made. She always remembered to say thanks or thank you when you receive a compliment, okay? And then after that, that looks interesting. What is it? Anna shows continued curiosity and engagement. She builds on Zoe's previous answer or simply asks for clarification about something that she has observed already. This indicates only that there's active listening and genuine interest in the other person, keeping the conversation flowing smoothly. Okay? All right. So after that, there's still more conversations actually. No, it's just a planner. Okay? Because Anna asked something from Zoe. I guess it's a thing. And Zoe replied, it's just a planner. Again, it's just a planner. Zoe provides a clear and concise answer. Sorry for that. So she provided a clear and concise answer here. And the conversation still goes on. Anna here, she has another reply. It's a long one. She mentioned there, cool, it was nice meeting you. Hope to see you around. And of course, it ended by Zoe saying you too. Okay, here, this is a textbook example of a polite and friendly way to end a casual conversation while still leaving the door open for future interaction. It was nice meeting you, Anna said. It is a standard choosing of closing phrase after initial introductions. And then hope to see you around. It is the perfect for a neighbor scenario, like she's suggesting future casual